Welcome to our monthly market update for the month of April. We are in the middle of May, so we now have our closed statistics for April. And it's a special one. I guess you will be back, Jen. She'll be back, I think.
Always here somewhere.
Jen is having a baby on Monday, so we're glad that we were able to get this in before baby Cody arrives.
Yes.
And she thinks she'll be back very quickly, so hopefully she'll be back in time for the next monthly market update.
Oh, I would hope so.
All right, so interest rates. I'll do this one, Jen, and then you can pick up the next ones if you want. So the interest rate news is that while interest rates were ticking up, that was the news for a while. I actually didn't even realize this until I pulled it. They're now again below 3%, which is good news. And it says here that, they've stayed below 3 for a while. So awesome news for buyers that it is below 3. You know, for me as a listing agent, I'd like to, again, lots of demand drives prices up. And so that is good for sellers. And yet it's just creating this crazy market that is just a bit challenging for all of us, particularly the buyers.
And as a buyer's agent, of course we want to have the buyers save as much money as possible. I mean, that's ultimately our goal in the pocket, and that also runs all the way down into interest rates as well. The bad thing necessarily about this, or I guess the less desirable part about this, is that the lower the interest rates go, the more buyers that you see coming back into the market, which is making the current buyers that we are currently working with, or plan on working with, and all throughout the market, make it more tough. So it's kind of like a catch-22 when it comes to the interest rates.
And I guess I'm forgetting, the other side of supply and demand is the supply, right? Like the interest. So the interest rates are causing high demand, and then there's the supply factor. So those are the two things, as we've been talking about month after month, that those are our challenges. There's not enough supply and there's huge demand. So as I say often, bring the listings, and actually we are starting to see some of that. I do think we are. Yeah. So
yeah, I feel like the last couple of weeks was showing some, showing quite a few clients some homes. I feel like I've been having more options, and granted they're going super quick, so time is still of the essence, as we see right here. New listings for April was right around 6,200 brand new on the market. It's up from the year before over 66%. That's like a huge increase. And even 20% from the month prior is pretty good too. And closed sales, pending, it depends on what goes under contract, but we don't really pay too much attention to that necessarily. We're really focused on what's been on the market, what's closing. Almost 4,300 from closed in April. That's up to over 20% from the month before. Means the market's still hot, still going, still strong. So we like that.
I will say that sorry, I lost my train of thought. That the big jump from last year was because last year at this time was when COVID was hitting. So that's part of
major lockdowns was right around this time.
Yeah. So did I skip a slide?
No.
All right. What's happening now in the market? So this is the 2-year cycle that we're always watching in terms of trends. This gives us our trend lines. And so we are seeing the same trends that we see year after year in regards to, prices going up, activity going up this time of year. What remains to be seen is that usually we see the peak happen in June, and then in June, typically prices and closed sales tend to go down. So we're waiting to see if that's going to happen or not. So median sold price is up 7% from last month and up 11.5% from the year before. So
that just means that investing in Northern Virginia real estate is still a great idea. We are still continuing to see year over year return on your investment.
Yep.
Now, what's happening right now, like what's on the market. And then remember this is for April. Active listings, a little less than 3,000. We're still at an inventory low. We're still needing more homes to put on the market. Average DOM stands for days on market. I believe, yep, it says March of 2021 was 16. And Kristen and I, right before we got on here, we were laughing about this a little bit. It has now dropped to 12 days on market. Now, from what we have experienced inside the market, most brand new, well-maintained, decently maintained, however you want to label them, homes do not usually last the first weekend off the market unless it's seller requested. So we are seeing quick turnarounds, lots of multiple offers, and yeah, just if you plan on seeing it the next weekend, we may not be able to. So that's part of our job, is to make sure that you're getting in there first. And here's where the biggest giggle between us, it's really not a giggle, it's really actually sad, a little bit, for at least for the buyer side. Average sold to original list price OLP ratio. We were joking last month, if you go back and watch our last video, that it was 102.1 last month. And then Bright decides to send this out and say, we're going to one up you. And the asking prices are still what it is. There's not a lot of wiggle room. Like, not at all. Depending on what those circumstances are. But you get the overall gist of it.
Jen and I still have our success stories. And if you join us on Facebook on Mondays, although Jen will not be with me for a couple of weeks, she'll be home with baby Cody. But we do like to share our success stories, because what a lot of people are hearing is doom and gloom about the real estate market, and it is not all doom and gloom at all. We do have lots of success stories that we're happy to share. So, reach out to us if you want to hear them, or check out our Homestead Mason Facebook page, and you'll find some of them there. That brings us to my slide that I like to share, because this is me tracking like week by week inventory. So this is a little bit more information than we'll see, because we're looking back at last month's stats. So what you'll notice in this one is actually, earlier in the year, where that supply and demand gap here was yellow. I can maybe get my pointer to point on that. So the yellow here, right? The supply and demand gap, when it's in the 90%, that basically means we're not really keeping up with the demand, right? So almost every home that comes on the market is getting scooped up. It's at an equal ratio. Number of homes going under contract as coming on the market. So the fact that we're out of the yellow, aside from this one red here, so that one red one was over 100%. That meant that if you look back over here, more homes went under contract that came on the market that week. So we went over 100% there, but otherwise our numbers have come down. So
that's what we mean by the whole doom and gloom thing. Like, we see numbers on a spreadsheet for counting. Remember, this is also for last month. So we're just kind of here.
This is this.
Oh yeah, no. I meant for the other one. No, this is actually up to date. So as of this past week. What we're trying to explain is that we understand that the numbers and what people are saying in the news and all this other stuff is collectively can be a little off-putting. However, when you work with somebody like us, like our team, and what we do is we make sure that we are having the best efforts put forward to make sure that you are being shown everything, whether it be on the market, off the market, been on the market for a while, has no plans to be to the market. We're able to do a lot of things on our team that not everybody would be willing to do the extra mile for. But that is what gives us that beating edge. Now, while we like to have a little bit of fun talking about, the 103%, also keep in mind that is also the entire Northern Virginia as a collective whole, as all of that. So I don't feel like it's gloom and doom. I don't think a lot of my clients are, our clients think it's a lot of gloom and doom. We've had a lot of really great successes on both the listing side and the buyer side. And we invite you to call 1-800.
Don't call 1-800.
No, don't call 1-800. They might charge you. 571-210-1866, or you email we do more at homesbymason.com, and we would be happy to talk with you about what your goals are. So
your specific scenario. That's what we do always come back to, is that we want to look at what's happening in the market. We want to understand what's going on in the market so that we can help each of our clients individually, based upon what their individual circumstances and needs are. So we always deal with our clients on a case-by-case basis to help you figure out if it's the right time for you to sell, or if it's the right time for you to buy. Maybe you should wait. Maybe you should, move faster or slower. We're always going to look at each scenario case by case. So call us anytime if you want to talk about your particular circumstance. Thank you. And we'll see you next month.
I'll be here. Don't worry. I'll see you all next month. Bye.